I'm going to expose the people who are basically harassing me. So is that so? Um, there's only one um lecturer that I can't remember his name. The first two lecturers, right? Adele Stavely and Harry Emin. These two people have caused hell for me. But there's a male lecturer who is in the top three of the worst lecturers I've had, and he's taken stalking to a whole another level as well. Gang stalking. And it's interesting because when I do a full thorough search on this guy, I cannot find a trace of him except for one picture on social media, and he's not even mentioned. So this guy, I had him for a unit of my class, and he was a really weird guy. Interesting how I never thought to film a video and mention him, almost as if they were using some type of technology to block it out, but it could have been a little bit of fear as well. But this guy basically ruined my chances of at least even concentrating in his class. He made it his top goal to distract me from what I'm supposed to learn. So I have all the people in my class who were turned against me based to because of a perpetrator who obviously was sent in, or just is a obvi- just a perpetrator who turned people against me when I started my course there. And I had that, and then I was dealing with that lecturer who every time he would try to teach, he would make little side remarks in relation to me. Like every single time he was talking about a topic, or basically anything in general, it was related to me and my life. That was really disturbing, and I always left that class feeling really, really bad and shitty. A feeling that you should never have to experience again if you dealt with it. But how bold people can be. He feels like he has some type of power to this to me. Mind you, this guy is Croatian, and I've had lots of Croatian people act like this towards me, and I'm not even joking. Now, I will touch on that topic in a second, because it's really weird. This lecturer, he not only made side remarks to my life in which he should not know about, he was making remarks about my personality, what comes through, especially spiritually, out loud to the class. So basically, going through the stalking, there was a movie that I haven't watched in a long time, but I remembered some of it. That was The Godfather, right? Italian mafia, and it also made me think about um well, I would just say that because that's what I was thinking about. And he should not know about The Godfather. I did not do any search on my hack devices about The Godfather, right? And this is right 6 months into the course, nearly ending, and he was making side remarks about The Godfather, right? He should not have known that. relaying again to the fact that they are still psychically tapping into my consciousness to extract information out of me. And I'm really glad that I was able to make that sound clear for you guys to understand. They are psychically, um, telepathically tapping into my consciousness to extract information out of me. And this is how they have stole my ideas. This is how they have violated my privacy. This is how they've seen into areas of my life where they should not have any access to. And, they think that I don't know. I do know. But they think that I'm just not going to buy into it, or my God, I'm going to betray Jesus because of how upset I am with them. And this is what they want. This is what they want you to do. Something that is very, very common amongst celebrities as well. Interesting, right? They don't like it when you say the name Jesus. And this teacher, this lecturer, right? Um, I initially did not, I did know he was somewhere from foreign country, but when I heard Croatia, I thought, oh, well, that makes 100% sense. Like, these people are absolutely barbaric. Like, then I don't want to judge, right? Because, I come from a neighboring continent. Well, if it was Serbia, right, I would say it's like part of it, right? Serbia is almost a part of Russia, I guess. But, I should know more of my history coming from a Slavic background as well. But, Croatian people, they're very gypsy like. And he's a complete gypsy to me. And his last name, right, was I don't remember his first name, but I remember only few letters of his last name, which is a bit sad, but I cannot find any trace of him, which is interesting. So from my guess, it would probably sound like Skiweski, Skiweski, something like that. His last name like Skiweski. And from the very first class I had with him, I could tell that it was going to be a very hard course to get through. Luckily, I found a rabbit hole, and I found a different campus to study the same thing, but at maybe just the same thing, because I could not finish the previous year. And we all know why. Everyone ganged up on me through gang stalking. There was a perpetrator and perpetrators, the main one being his name Brian, who infiltrated, basically the campus and told people lies about me and all kinds of bullshit because he knew my ex. Isn't that fucked up? But it's true. And my city, even though it's a small city, well, it's not small, but it can feel that way, and it does. But you can say the same thing about any other continent. But he knew him, and this guy that I met, right, who was sent into my life to basically uh act really disgusting with me. Um, you know, uh he knew the people that I was going there with, and I just could not, like, I could not comprehend like how, but it makes sense. I mean, he's everywhere. I mean, even the people who I've just met who are friendly, they know this guy. So my intuition that he is just going around everywhere is 100% correct. And I don't want to talk about this person. Like, I really don't want to. My life is precious. I'm not going to waste anything about it. But I'm just connecting the dots, right? And I just wanted to prove something, I guess. When I met someone at the time, to my family members, right? But it didn't matter anyways because people are fake. And yeah, so the people who knew my ex, right? They were messaging him and he was telling them bullshit and lies in order to harass me and target me so I could fail. And this is what they wanted. They were all ganging up on me and they were relaying messages trying to say that you're a failure. They even put up a star recently that like I'm not joking. They know that I'm basically a celebrity in terms of gang stalking. I am like really high on the list in terms of gang stalking and being a blackmailed victim and a target. So believe me when I say this, and you do. In my city where I go to my new campus, there's a museum next door. And I noticed this, it had a huge gold star saying, "You are a failure." What the fuck is this? And you know what they call me? They call me Star. They call me, in the spiritual sense, they've referred to me as a star that can't be taken down, but they know that I spiritually feel a little bit dead inside recently. And this is what they're trying to do. They're trying to break my character, break me, right? They're trying to break my innocent nature. And what I mean by that is they are trying to just, I don't mean anything like, extreme. Break my innocent nature, making me depressed, trying to put harm in my mind, trying to make me feel harmful, or towards me. Um, Trying to make me feel inadequate and not enough. And this is what they're doing to me recently. And this is what they did to me studying in my last course, right? So all of this was pre-planned. So they are trying to set me up to fail, right? And what does my private instructor keep telling me? Are you winning? She hasn't said that recently, but bullshit starts and it happens and it comes again. Are you winning? So it's a game, right? They are putting you in a fucking game. And I'm so sick and tired of it. Um, I never wanted to be a celebrity. I never wanted to be a celebrity slave. I mean, you see celebrity slaves, I'll tell you who the real slaves are, right? People that well, Britney Spears. And she's still alive, right? I think she is. People say she's cloned. Well, who knows? I mean, I know for 100% certain that there's something not right with Jim Carrey. But look, we can talk about celebrities, but I'm talking about something realistic, and that's my life, right? This teacher is fucked up. And you start your course, he keeps harassing me in my new campus through smear campaigns, word of mouth. And the other teacher that I have knows about this guy, right? And he starts relaying messages, obviously trying triggering my memory of this guy. And not and without it having to trigger my memory. I've had old men start harassing me again, and in very specific looks, in reference to my lecturer, who has a white grey beard, glasses, and a bald head. This is like they are relaying. This is what my lecturer looks like beard, bald head, glasses. They are relaying what he is saying. That guy, this is what he looks like, and they're relaying his messages through other people and my my new lecturer in my new campus as of today. So showing that he is trying to cause trouble for me. And whenever this bullshit happens, it's fucked, right? It always happens when I can see something in the future. And look, I'm not saying I see something in the future. I mean, I can see something that I can achieve in the future, and I'm happy and I'm laughing about it, right? And like whenever I'm laughing, right? These 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 pieces of shit always know that. Like, even though I'm not at that old campus anymore, they're still fans of me in terms of illegal surveillance and harassment. And in my new campus, this, like, you if you are a target of gang stalking, you'll understand. They are it's almost like they're, well, not almost, but they're trying to make me feel that again. Like, they're trying to show that he has not forgotten about me. But long story short, two old men, one of them, one of them, as I was coming back home from the train, not thinking too much of it, I had an old guy, right? There was an old guy who looked exactly like my lecturer from my previous campus. Listen to me seriously. This is fucked up, right? I had a lecturer from my previous campus. He was acting really fucked up. So he came and he was walking. He really wanted to get in front of me. He wasn't running, he was just pacing. So he was pacing really fast in front of me. And I thought, that's a bit sus. Usually, like I said, I walk in front of my gang stalkers, but I wanted to have a relaxing walk. I couldn't have a relaxing walk. So this old bastard, he went in front of me, you know, and then through the corner. So he came in front of me through the corner, got something in his hand, and he threw something in the trash in front of me. So he just went like this. He just cut in front of me and he did that to prove something to me, right? That he's a predator, that there are predators out there, and that they can get away with whatever they want, right? Yeah. And they will get all your children to laugh about it and agree that it's funny. Or, I mean, some of them, right, they have ears and eyes and they know it's fucked up, and they will just look the other way. But like the ones who are very brainwashed and very lefty, if you know what I mean by that, right? Like, they would possibly just do that. But I noticed it was very specific, and in that specific moment. And fucked up things has happened to me at that train station. I was assaulted, right? I was assaulted really badly and I could have died there. Like, I really thought that I would end up in hospital or the ER having to get surgery on my body, right? Because, if they bashed me in the lungs, I could have had a collapsed liver. This is really serious. I could have had a collapsed liver. I could have had a collapsed lung. My ribs could have been broken. But I was lucky, and I only got a strong jab in my face, right? And my face is quite thin, so I do feel things a bit more softer. Um, Thanks to my low cholesterol, though. If I mean, it was a rainy night, right? It was a rainy night, and very very eerie. And of course, they were arrested, and there were some old blokes that were laughing, and then some old blokes that were interfering, trying to pull them away from me, who were concerned, right? So there was a younger guy, right? He seemed concerned, and then he said, "Oh, well, I saved you, right?" And then there was a really old guy, like, imagine like a Texas guy, right? Those fucked up creeps who don't like Russian people or French people. They just, it goes for any kind of person, but they don't like innocent women, right? So he's just laughing at me, right? He's laughing at the fact that I was assaulted. So like it just shows the state the world is in. Like we have these creepy bastards laughing at people who were just assaulted, saying, "Oh, she'll be alright." And yeah, I mean, I was alright. I'm always alright. If I get stabbed one day, I'll be alright. I'll be 100% okay. Yeah, like that's so normal. And it is normal that lots of people get stabbed in this in these areas. And I mean, well, any area really. If you're well, it's just easier when you're targeted, isn't it? That anything can happen to you. But they were waiting for me once I got out of the train station to basically attack me. And my mom, she did not care to help me. I was in front of her in the car. She did not, she lied to me. Okay, this is how narcissists work. She lied to me and said, "Oh, I was so concerned. I wanted to open the car for you." Oh, no, no, no. She enjoyed it. And you know how narcissists smirk, right? She she felt like I needed that. Like if I get shot, she would love that. I get called all these kinds of names. I get insulted. And and it comes from these people who take pleasure in seeing us not only get mentally abused but physically as well. And then, in the past, if we've reacted because of reacted abuse, they will just keep saying that over and over again. Um, has their personality, like complete idiots. Uh you don't like if anyone talks about abuse, you don't know what abuse is until you are dreading every single day you are living. And it comes and goes, this feeling, but it's always there lingering. And when s- that feeling is so strong, it brings about a sense of grief and helplessness. And this is what my gang stalkers have been saying as of recently. They're talking about the energy I'm feeling, grief. Or maybe they are feeling that because of all their witchcraft as well done on me. They maybe have lost someone. You know, I know that I'm being pushed to make decisions for myself, but My biggest devils in my life are my family. They are so fucked up, right? She did not open the car for me, did she? Nope. She waited there and pretended like she could not get out of the car. Which, and people would believe her, but people would also find it suspicious. Like if you think about uh if you think about narcissists and narcissistic mothers, they will act like they're there for you, they'll act like they care for you. And then when you get uh treated like shit and abused, right? They will tell you it's your fault, that you deserved it, or it's not my life, it's yours. This bullshit. And if you want to, live your life, be independent, hopefully have their support as well. Um, they will say, nah, 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 cut all support from you. This kind of bullshit, right? And then they will say lies like, oh, you know, I've tried when I was younger as well. And you know what happened to me? I was called crazy. I was put on drugs. I was drugged, right? When I tried to escape, I was drugged. I was, the police came and they argued with me. And when I did not want to stay in the house, they got really aggressive with me. And, it really fucked me up, right? The fact that I could never leave. I was just bound to this hell on earth. I never had a chance to stay away from these people. And if I did, it was in a place where I was drugged and I was experimented on. And, people were just basically trying to learn how to um, destroy my life. And they take pleasure in that, right? And, as a victim of gang stalking, I had a very, very depressing childhood. And it wasn't depressing because I saw some fun times in it, but it's just really weird, right? It makes you think like your family probably tried to traffic you, or and maybe they weren't satisfied with the price that they got of you, so they just decided to keep you because that would be a cheaper option. It's a pretty grim reality for me. Um, I try to live my life, and that's what I do. I mind my business, and people get upset about it. They want me to look at them. They want me to stare at them. They want me to be the one to copy them. And they look like like I said, I don't judge people, but they are constantly talking about me. They are constantly spying on me. They are constantly copying me. And they want my honest, like, I'm going to say my honest opinion. They look like shit. I like my style. I like my look. I like the way I was created by God. And if I'm not going to listen to anybody in order to basically be something I'm not, right? Um, I and I'm so sick and tired of this, but I think I'm going to have to take my baby pictures and show people, right? You are not going to change me. This is me. This is little innocent me. And You are harassing me. They're probably going to laugh in my face, obviously. They're demons, right? But that's a pretty name to call them. You get what I mean by that, right? Like they're so fucked. Like you, they're just messed up. That there needs to be another name to call these things. They're parasites. I have parasites in my family too. And yeah, so if you heard about what I was talking about my lecturer, this is what he's doing. And I should have taken that old man picture when he just put his arm around the trash can, walked at a slow pace, me not fully realizing at that exact moment that he could have been a gang stalker. And he was. He was one, and he's trying to intimidate me, trying to make me feel like I'm trash, right? That I deserve to be uh treated like I'm nothing, that I'm just a piece of meat, that I can be replaced, and that like us European people should be, you know, in a grave somewhere, just getting treated like rubbish, garbage, because that's what they want for us. And these people who hate their own culture, right? These are the people who are what you call mentally ill, right? That's what you call a mental illness. And it's not just that, but they hate women. They hate girls. I'm not even 20. I'm still 19, right? So the way these men treat me is disgusting. I still feel, as a girl, right? Like I still feel really uncomfortable about that. Where I'm going for my dance lessons, I told you I do ballroom. They all gang stalked me in the first 2 weeks there. So I knew someone there, right? He was like the learner or instructor, Irish guy, and all kinds of cultures where I live, and all kinds. And he showed me like ballroom, ballroom dancing, and then but he acted like a complete weirdo. He said to me really weird things, and he was, oh, did I mention that my yeah, he said to me weird things, and he would cough a lot at me. He'd cough a lot at me. And this yeah, and that became recent. And it has something to do, right, with my perverted mother's husband. My mother's husband, like I already mentioned, is a creep. He's a pedophile. And I always keep my door locked, but it doesn't matter. The new house we lived in, my room is even closer to him. And like, has God forsaken us? Like, this world is an absolute shithole. Like, there's nothing good that I see that is happening at the moment. All I just see is these fucking pieces of shit acting like shit. Um, he kept his distance from me, and I'm pretty sure I don't know if I talked about this on my channel yet about this guy, but um, it is when I started. Oh wait, it mm, I started feeling uncomfortable around him. Like he just got the hint. But my dance teacher, he did a little bit at first, but now, and he would talk about my life as well in little, little pieces. But now he started to gang stalk me. So and I'm pretty fucking annoyed about that, because if he wanted to target me, he should have done it at the start, and I would not have done that. because now I have to deal with a fucking teacher, right? Who is going to take out his anger on me. Um, and he sees me as someone who's vulnerable. Oh wow, they like that. And I said in front of my mom, everyone could hear, I am uncomfortable. I don't think I think now he's trying to make me permanently uncomfortable. And he hasn't, like, and right, mind you, I was treated like trash today. And now he took something in the bin and he went to the bin 2 or 3 times and he threw something in the garbage lately, right? Is he a pedo? I think he is. I'm going to say he is. I'm not okay with that, right? But I'm somebody who will expose people. I'll talk about the truth. And he talks about, so, you know, he talks about how to treat a lady, right? How to how to dance with her for ballroom. He talks about all this stuff, and I almost believe he's a good teacher, right? And then he does that to me. So he doesn't see me as somebody who's elegant anymore because I reacted to the gang stalking by doing it back to someone, right? And you have every right to that. I didn't do it enough though, because again, they are trying to be consistent with that. Um, they are trying to basically turn me dark. I will not turn dark, obviously, but it makes you think about how you need to treat people again. Because you don't, people don't deserve to be treated with kindness when they are basically harassing you. And yeah, I don't want him to dance with me, but he's my teacher, right? I would rather he just keeps his distance and he just leaves me alone, because if he's going to treat me that way, and it's pretty fucking annoying because I'm already halfway through the class, right? And I mean, I could find another place, right? Then again, I'm still taking bets here, and I hate to gamble at this time. Even though I'm 19, I feel like a lot of time has been taken from me because of these bastards, right? And I felt like I was put under spell for so long that I had to fight to take that off me, right? And again, I'm mentioning this yesterday night, I could not sleep. Now I know the reason why. Like, I was going to have such a fucking shit day. And I was watching videos and informative videos as well. The first one was visiting Epstein's uh Zorro Ranch in Mexico. Mind you, they're not speaking about that on the media at all. Second video is how a Japanese person learned to speak with birds. Second video I watched was um what was it again? How Epstein um and this guy basically violated a girl who wore a Snow White costume. So that was the third video I watched. And then the fourth video I watched was a body cam video of a guy who basically was in fact working for NASA, and he came to Area 51 and he was standing there celebrating something. That's what he said to them, at least, right? And he did. But what he said was that we are experiencing a time warp. He said something else. No, he didn't say warp. He said time elation or something like that. But from if I can't remember the word, I would just use warp, a time warp, right? Oh, I can. Okay, I remember. He said we are experiencing a time dilation, and that I've spoken to you probably in a loop many times. And then he showed his badges and where he works for, and it proved that he does in fact work for the government. So, and you know what? That was my favorite video to watch about what's going on in the world because he actually does work for NASA and he is basically somebody in charge. Like, even the military felt like they needed to respect him a bit. And, you know, these cops basically ID'd him and filmed him. And, you know, I mean, obviously, Area 51, they're suspicious of everyone. And even if you come there, they will not allow access to that point. He said, I don't know if he was trying to gain access to the base, but um, I just find that interesting. Like, because if he was a regular person and it was saying, well, you know, you can believe them if you want, but the fact that he works for NASA and it was proven, and two of the guys that were military didn't believe him, or the ranger didn't believe him, and he's saying that we are experiencing a time dilation. That's pretty serious. Like, he's speaking the truth. Like, and you know, it shows that how cops are just so stupid and they're just so absorbed in their egotistical brutality towards people that um you know, when they come across these things, they're really quite reckless in how they handle them. But I mean, you know, this is what they're like there in America, and they're doing something in Area 51. They're experimenting and they're hiding something. So if they want to exert their power in that way, they can, right? You know, no hate towards that. The only types of cops or people in enforcement I hate are the ones who are corrupt and abuse their position and, you know, do mass surveillance on people um out of predatory gain and basically to harm another person, right? Which is fucked, right? Like, imagine wanting to take revenge on a 13-year-old girl. Like, what? Like, I did not know people in that type of stance, right? Like, I was somebody at that age, right? I was outgoing with the people that I personally knew, but I had a private life. I didn't know people in that area. Like, I mean, and truth to be told, I wanted to be a lawyer or a detective when I grew up. Like, seriously, like, if the gang stalking didn't happen, that was the career I would have pursued. But you know what happened, and I'm a detective in my own personal way. So, and you know, I think like one. So when hear about these detectives, I can tell when one is really investigating and when one is basically trying to cover up evidence, which is what these people love to do. And you know, there are many Epsteins in the world. Like, there's one in every single corner, and people just don't care, right? It's at the end of the day, it's about these lottery numbers and these cash bonds and you know, money and everything. And you know what people would do for fame and money is just stupid. Um, it's like lives don't matter. And when I went to my ballroom dancing, right, what was so bloody interesting was the fact that there was those migrants there. So right, like I said, talking about the bad immigrants, right? The good immigrants, right? They never harm people. They never rape people. And they do, some of them do, right? Pretty bad, but it's not at that high level in the world, right? Compared to most European immigrants, they really shouldn't be called immigrants because, for example, the UK, right? Or the UK, the people who came to the UK, right? Did people come to the UK? Wait, I can't think, sorry. I'm so tired. It's 2 a.m., but um For example, America. Sorry, I'm going to say America. America, that they did not own that country. Obviously, we all know that. They're immigrants. So Americans are immigrants. So it's so stupid to call people from London or France or Italy like immigrants. Like that's so fucking stupid. They're like they're all the same type of people. Well, they're very different. They're so different. As somebody who understands that they're so different, but they're also so alike in terms of many things. But the bad immigrants that deserve that name, um, and at a highest level of murder and rape, right? I see a few of them at my ballroom dancing, right? And I haven't seen them for a long time. I literally thought that they dropped out, but they're still there. Oh, yes, they're still there. And the reason for for the day getting even shittier just becomes a bit more clearer towards the end. I mean, I wouldn't count it as the day, obviously, but just during the end, I would consider that as to why it went to shit. I mean, immigrants there and talking bad about me because they hate us Europeans. And I mean, there are some good people who are not European and they are actually talking about gang stalking and understanding how it's affecting us Europeans and us young girls and young people. And but a lot of them, right? A lot of these migrants they don't like us. They hate us and they really want to hurt us and in all kinds of ways. It's so disturbing. And you know they got to my dance lecturer to just act like a shitty person towards me a lot. And I he what he does watches my videos secretly. They all do, because mass surveillance. They're not going to say it to your face because they don't want to get karma. If you see my previous videos about um practicing I forgot the name of my previous videos now. Practicing karma that's not going to come to them but on me. That's what they're practicing. So they're trying to practice forceful no, okay, I remember the words. They are trying to practice forceful karmic retribution on me. That's what they're doing. And for trying to enforce karmic retribution and trying to increase the adrenochrome of fear or sadness, because it does come, right? Adrenochrome. They don't always need to have that blood, right? They can just try to get that from you energetically because they are parasites. A lot of these people, they won't show that they're parasites, but you can tell that something's feeding on them. And or they just, they just fucked up people. And trying to make me feel that way. I just want to help more people in my life now. Like, I don't, if I can save a few lives one day, that was going to make me feel better. Because if they're trying this hard to intimidate me, then I guess, the better way is to just be like Jim Caviezel and, I don't know, maybe try to join a program to save kids who have unfortunately upset them so much to the point where they're being taken to be trafficked. But I wasn't taken, thankfully. But they are trying to shame me for something. They are trying to put me down for something, whether it's, just basically not being like them, Um, they are part of a cult, and my there have been whenever I say this, if you believe in the supernatural or spirituality, you don't have to say, like I said, spiritual or non-spiritual in my previous videos. It's up to you. But sometimes, right, if I go to a very abnormal, paranormal place anywhere, I can just ask quietly, is it a cult, right? Lights will flicker twice. Yes, once no. And it's always yes. And I've had many confirmations about it. Too many, even in distorted words from people, but they will not say it to me directly. There's something fucked up going on. It's all over the world, like this global shit scheme program done on us. And another thing, you hear about prodigies, child prodigies. I watched a video about this new child prodigy. She said she wants to be a swimsuit model, right, when she grows up. It's a little bit weird considering she's that young and she was invited to the top 1%, because she is smart, but her first answer is swimsuit model. Like, that's really weird. Like, who put that in her head? Like, have they, like, and you've heard about things about swimsuit models, and what happens, and you know about the top 1%. I mean, if it's the top 1%, and then she's saying that, there's something not right. So they are targeting intelligent people, and they are trying to basically harm intelligent people. Some people are not even aware of how intelligent they are. So they just try to make you feel like you're not intelligent, or just downplay at your creativity, which I find really interesting because now that I'm a little bit more mature, and I had to become more mature anyways because of certain situations um that were going to harm me. um I realized that I have a brain, and I do have something that an intelligence inside me that I can enhance. And when I realized that, right, and their opinion just didn't matter to me, then they became scared by me, which, why should they be? Like, I don't, like I said, I'm just living my life. It's weird. And so they just target me. Like, I'm going to expose their whole fake program. And, like I said, like, I wouldn't be talking so much about anything if they just left me alone. I mean, they just can't. And children go missing a lot. Children get killed in really weird ways. And it always comes down to these people. And they're getting these kids to basically listen to their bullshit, and yet they're the ones who are orchestrating all these bad things to happen in their lives. That's what they don't realize. Like, the older generation are really not right in the head, and only few can see past that. Or maybe, I mean, the world is starting to wake up, but um it's really fucked up what I'm going through. And I get followed everywhere around, I get harassed everywhere, and I'm supposed to fight them, right? Like, I want to. Like, and I hate it. Well, I don't hate it, but I do hate this type of gang stalking, obviously. If you see somebody somehow from a different type of social media that you recognize them on and wonder why they're not happy. Well, have they made their struggle clear on their social media? That's a question to ponder on. You know, you can't be happy when you're being abused, right? Nobody gives a shit. Like they just keep joy in it. And especially the best mistake our government did is opening borders to these people and then hiring them as spies on top of that to basically attack us is just fucked up. Yeah, nobody's going to save me. Nobody's going to save us. Sometimes I feel like God has forsaken us, and it's you know the X virus that was created in 2018, the rage virus that was transmitted from um animals animals to humans, right? Maybe I mean I would who would want that in the world, but right. Um, to finish these people off, that's what they deserve. They need to turn into zombies and then we decapitate them. Like seriously, they're fucked up people. And they're basically just infecting this whole world. And if I did mention my lecturer from my old previous college, every time that he was teaching, he would keep coughing every single time. And he was making eye contact with me so that I would be the only one uncomfortable when he does that. This is how psychology works. And toxic psychology to destabilize a target, a victim, someone of gang stalking. Exactly what he did to me. Just locking eye contact with me, coughing nonstop to destabilize me. And he did that while he was next to me. And he just did not want me to pass. He made that his mission not to let me pass. Um, Same as the other two lecturers that I mentioned, Adele and Terry, the other two lecturers. They did not want me to excel. They all teamed up together to bring me down. It almost happened in my new college, but right, I put my foot down and I just kept talking. They know about my secret channel. They won't say it to me, but because they know the consequences of this. It's a real thing, and I have the facts and I have the truth. And if I'm talking about the truth, I actually feel calm and I feel myself. And this is what I would just do. Um, my neighbors are in on it. I'll just tell you that. And my neighbors are copying me. The old lady next door, she looks like the old lady in my class. Very they have a very drug look like. Old lady next door, she put something in the bin, did the whole lid slamming. I did the same thing. And there are a majority of people who are victims of these gang stalkers that go through this. And another thing to notice is that people who have really crappy living arrangements but have a really nice car that do this to us, like, isn't that a coincidence? Like, let's say they have like a little unit has a place to live in, like very shitty, like a shithole. But they have like like a bloody Mercedes Benz. You would think, how did they get that money, or did they just blow it all on a car, but just live in a very crappy place? And it just shows like a lot of people are not that smart. And I mean, I love a Mercedes. That was my dream car, but like savings first, a house first, a roof over your head first, a nice one. But they have a shit place, they have a nice car, and then they target people like us, right? And we could have one if we wanted, but we would rather I don't know, like keep paying. I mean, well, just live in a nice house and then buy almost the same type of car. But they just don't like anybody that they feel like is cooler than them or just has more of an interesting life which they should not know. But they just see us as entertainment. If you heard about how elites were hunting children, that is 100% real, right? Of course, the media would not cover that. But if they can't hunt us, right? They will hunt us spiritually, so it just makes it easy and they don't get charged when they're around 60 or 90 years old. Like they really want to go out nicely. Huh? But it's still in the same type of abuse, right? Um, and they are trying to hijack our brain, um, fuck with us and kill us. Um, it's disturbing, and that teacher that I have for ballroom dancing, he's a fucked up guy. Uh, like I don't like I'm very uncomfortable, and you got a problem, then maybe you shouldn't have come today. Did he really need to come? Like, is he really the only teacher there? It's just so weird. Um, but yeah, they're watching my every life. They're watching my every move, and they watch my videos, and it's just it's just fucked up. And let me know, relating to any of this you're going stalking, the type of people that you've encountered, because I will not stand for this in my new course. Put my foot down, and this is why I'm so serious and dedicated to it. Let me know. Bye.